Today marks a significant day in the calendar because we just found out that an Olympic gold athlete has actually tested positive for being a male. What are the effects? What are my thoughts? Let's have a think about it, okay? Welcome back, guys, and I hope you're enjoying the content. On Twitter today, I seen a tweet from Piers Morgan. I'll put it up on screen for you now. And Olympic athlete who got a gold medal in boxing, who identified as a woman, has tested positive. I'll put the details up on screen so you can go look at the tweet and the information yourself. But what's this mean? What's this? Well, look, the fact that this even happened is scandalous. End of. It's scandalous. If you want a very simple and honest opinion on what I think should happen, here it goes. I think that man obviously should have his gold medal stripped from him, but he should also be charged with abuse and fraud. And anybody who allowed him partake in a women's event should also be prosecuted with fraud. I'm gobsmacked that this even goes on in the world. And as a father that has a daughter that does combat sports, this alarms and shocks me to the very core. This is everything that I despise about the modern world, not the normal world. There's plenty of good people out there, but there are some just absolute lunatics. And before this broke, we were watching last night a debate on Piers Morgan with this woman. I can't remember her name. With her views, I don't even know. Look, I'll put her name down. Watch.
More than the feelings of the women that they're competing against. It's ridiculous we keep coddling and kowtowing to this madness. I hope we're seeing the end of it, and I think within the next couple of years we will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed that every woman, frankly, doesn't agree with you because the unfairness and inequality is so obvious. But Francesca, I can see you actually going berserk here with indignation. So presumably you don't agree.
I mean, please don't speak for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, either of you, please don't speak for me. Please don't speak for all women. Just let's get that out of the way right now. Because I do disagree. I think about what if your 12-year-old kid was Aiden? Wouldn't that be incredible? Wouldn't you be proud of Aiden?
No.
And how much would it...
No, absolutely not. Unless that child had not even reached puberty, and in the case of my daughter, for example, and someone is trying to convince her that if you just put your hand up and say that you're a boy, you can suddenly compete against a different biological sex. I'd say it's all madness.
Piers, this is what's crazy about it. Do you think that that's what's driving trans women to compete as athletes, is that they're like, if I transition to become a woman, I can win a gold medal in a high school track and meet competition.
Well, now, hang on, Francesca. I don't care.
That is so absurd to me. It's the same thing. Hang on, let me speak.
I don't care.
That's exactly what happened here. That is exactly what happened here. Some bloke obviously couldn't compete at a male level and decided to put his hand up and go into the women's realm. Gets a gold medal, absolutely disgraceful. He should be charged with abuse against women. He should be charged with fraud because he's not a woman, and it's a fraud that he was actually in there. And anybody who allowed him in there should be charged with fraud as well. It's absolute insanity. And that lady there just says, wouldn't you be... The conversation I'm having here on Piers Morgan is... a runner in Oregon who ran a race who got booed because he was a male in a girls' race. She said, wouldn't you be proud of your son? It's like, no. The fact that she even thinks that is insanity. That's the insane bit, because that shows that that child who ran that race, his parents probably pushed him into it and just went along with it. And that's the insanity that we're dealing in the world today. That is it. If you want to change to be a female from being a man and then want to fight, I'll tell you what, like that lady there, I guarantee you she does not want me to fight her mother or her sister. But it's okay for it to happen elsewhere. My daughter, I said, she's a young child. She's a kickboxer. If that happened in her sport, I would absolutely go ballistic. It wouldn't. She would never step into the ring in that scenario. Even though in the club, she does actually train with the males and spar the males. That doesn't matter because they're training. They're in a process of getting each other better, developing each other. But when it actually comes down to a tournament or a fight, no, it's a different story, because we all know if you can't actually distinguish the two genders that we have in this world, there's something wrong with you, or else you were just flat out lying. That's all. You were just flat out lying. There's only two genders. There only ever was. There only ever will be. Any people who say otherwise are either lying or just not well. That is it. I think this news coming out, I think the world is starting to change, and I think the world is starting to realize that this is absolute madness. The fact that they teach it in schools, the fact that we have to put up with it, just put up with it as it's flaunted in our face, is just disrespectful. It's horrible. And I hope that that person gets punished the way they should. Just like Riley Gaines, when she won, and that man took her medal. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think that never should have happened, and I think those people should, at bare minimum, be charged with fraud. It is fraudulent behavior, what they're doing, because they are obviously weak and they do not want to compete against men. That's what it is. They want to be good at something, they can't. Look into their history, you'll see that they try to compete at a men's level. Can't do it. And guess what? Instead of trying harder, they just gave up and went over to the women. And women, yous are strong. I'm surrounded by women. I love women. There's no cis women, there's no nothing, there's no trans women. You're either a man or a woman, and that's it. Nothing else. Nothing. And you can deny that, you can pretend all you want, but the fact is, you're a liar. You're deceiving yourself. We all see what's really going on, but you are deceiving yourself. I do not have a problem with you either. What I have is a problem with the people in power allowing this to happen. There's obviously something wrong with you that you think this way. But the people who are in power allowing you to do this are even worse. They are worse. The people who let that male boxer beat those women, they should also be charged with abuse, fraud, and probably sentenced harder. He might have done the punching, but they let him. I'm very angry. I'm furious. But don't take this up as I don't hate these people. I actually feel bad for them. I feel very sorry for this woman. I don't think this woman is in her right mind at all. Saying, wouldn't you be proud of your son? That's exactly what's wrong. Exactly what's wrong. It's not happening. Wouldn't you be proud of your son? What kind of parent would be proud of their son for crushing women, hitting women, abusing women, making mockeries of women's sports? What kind of parent would be proud of that? What kind of parent would want their child to do that? You've got to ask yourself serious questions. If you don't think anything's wrong with this, you're pushing this world in a very dangerous direction. A very dangerous direction. And a direction that I don't think you want it to be, or any of us want it to be. And the more we stay silent, the more will happen. We need more conversations like this. And when these people are generally asked about, oh, man or woman, is it? And they say, oh, I don't know. That's not right. There's something mentally wrong with these people for doing that. Okay? I don't know what kind of indoctrination they've had. I don't understand. Because it defies logic, common sense, reasoning. It defies all that. It is mind-blowing. Absolute mind-blowing. As my kids get older and they're in sports and in activities, and especially with my daughter in combat sports, this is not happening to her. It will not happen to her. And I will make sure of that. Okay? Parents, if you are listening, if you are watching this, if you are letting your son do this, if you are agreeing with your son in his decisions to do this, first of all, where is he getting influence from? Maybe you should change the scenario that he's in, because they aren't normal thoughts. 2, do not say he's doing the right thing. No. You want the best for your child, yeah? Yeah? Parents, you want the best for your child? When they go to put their hand on the hot stove, you don't let them do it. You call them out before it happens. Before they go to do anything, you're there to protect them. Your job as a parent is to protect them. Protect them from the evils of this world. And we have seen it time and time again. And now it's coming to a head. It is coming to a point of no return. It either goes one way or the other. We continue down this road and the world just erupts into this melting pot and just, it goes crazy. Or 2, we stand up and we say, no, you're not right. And we push and suppress this and just kill it. Like, it can't go on anymore. It can't. And it takes the everyday average person to do it. We need to question those who let this happen. If you're letting this happen, you're the worst evil of all. Because you give people a bit of rope and they will take it all. You give people an opportunity, they will seize it. That man saw an opportunity to put his hand up and say, hey, I'm a woman. Because he was a failed men's athlete. So it's you people who are in control of these things. It's a sad state of affairs when it has to come to this. I can't actually believe what we're seeing in the world today. When men can just hop into a women's sport and just dominate it. When women are happy for men to come into their sport and dominate it. It defies belief. Where has this influence come from? What's influenced them to be like this? Why is it in schools? Why do we have a month dedicated to this sick, demented way of being? It is horrible. We've come so far. We've come so far from grace here. We've come so far apart from any normality. The last 10 years, 10 years, we have just disintegrated into a horrible place. It really is mind-boggling how we've let this happen and how it continues to happen and how it is now creeping into our everyday lives. Guys, you got to start doing something. You at the other end of this, if you're watching, if you're listening, it doesn't matter. Piers Morgan is trying to do something. There is people actively trying to do something. You know, I know Candace Owens tries, and I know Andrew Tate as well. There's a lot of people, Jordan Peterson, and they're all standing up and saying these things, but it can't be just them. It has to be all of us saying, no, I'm not taking that anymore. No, what are you doing? You're a bloke. And they'll throw stats in your face about abuse, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And they'll talk about everything. Fact is, man can never be woman. Woman can never be man. Physically, biologically, not even mentally. As men, we even think different. We act different. We are different. As soon as two men get into a room, what do? They eye each other up. Okay, can I take him? How can I take him? If it all hits the fan, that's how men think. I don't know how women think. I don't think they think like that. Men, we think in protective means. We think, okay, I got to protect this house. I got to protect my family. How do I do that? That's how we think. Yeah? I don't think women think like that. Because if women thought like that and two of us were doing the same job, it wouldn't be much of a relationship, would it? It's simple. It really is very, very simple. And this is a perverted, absolutely perverted bit of news. I'm glad that it came up. I am. I'm glad that they found it. It's obvious by looking at him that he's in the wrong. He should be charged for fraud. I think anybody, if you want to be trans, right? If you want to be trans, be trans. But don't come around here trying to get into women's sport, because that's for women. You understand? Not trans women, not anything like that. A trans woman ain't a woman, never will be. Get that into your head. Understand? A trans woman is never going to be a woman. Never will be. A trans man is never going to be a man. No matter what you say. I don't have a problem with you on a personal level. I have a problem with you infiltrating the biological sports that we've created for our entertainment. Yeah. These things were created for our entertainment, so people could benefit from them. It's a sporting event. It's an event. You understand? And in the women's section, it's for women. In the men's section, it's for men. If you can't compete in the men's section, go do something else. You're not good enough. You understand? I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys, on this, but yeah, I think it's important that we talk about this more. People actually say something about it and do something about it. I think the time is over now for this madness. I think the madness has to stop. We cannot continue down this path because it is madness. It's absolute madness. Am I against you? No, I'm not. I'm not against you whatsoever. But I'm not going to stand by and be silent. I'm not going to let my daughter step into a ring with a man. I'm not going to let that happen. 100%. Not going to let that happen. And it starts today. And it's over now. I'm glad that this came to be, because it shows the world the evil that is happening. Because the evil isn't that person. That person isn't right in the head. The evil is in the people who let him do that. You understand? They knew he was a man. They knew it. They knew every second. But they let him do it. And that's the biggest evil of all. No more. It's sick. It's twisted. It's perverted. And it's not happening anymore. Guys, thanks for listening. That was a little rant. Gotta get off my chest after that nonsense. Subscribe. Thanks.